Hello everyone, hope you're all keeping well and welcome to St Joseph's Academy BGE Science Online Learning Lesson 1. If you really don't want to listen to this recording, then I have also uploaded this PowerPoint as a PDF document that you can read through at your own speed. But what we're going to be looking at today is we're going to be looking at scientific report design, and that's what we're going to be looking at all week. So our learning intention is for you to develop your knowledge of scientific report writing. By the end of the week, you should be able to state the sections that are included in a scientific report. You should be able to describe what each of these sections in a scientific report should include, and then also construct suitable aims or hypotheses for experiments. And what you'll find is on the Teams app, you can locate the Google Forms document. There is space there for you to input all your answers and send your answers to me for checking. Okay, so let's get started. So if you pause this PowerPoint, you can come out and link into the Google form, and you'll see that I've linked in a YouTube video that takes you to BrainPop. If you watch that video and then have a go at these starter questions, again on the Google form there is space for you to input your answers. So when scientists want to solve a problem, they follow the scientific method. And if you watch the little video clip, it gives you a brief introduction as to what the scientific method is. And I would like to answer the following questions. So what is meant by the scientific method? What is the second step in the scientific method? How does the scientist explain she will get accurate results? What is meant by the term data? And then name 3 objects that the magnet is attracted to in the video. Okay, good luck. So we'll start at the very beginning about writing a scientific report. Scientists conduct experiments to find something out. Often a scientist may have a theory about what might happen, and we call that the hypothesis, or sometimes we call it a prediction. And so what they'll do is they'll conduct an experiment to test their theory. A scientific report or a lab report is basically a formal write-up or record of the scientist's experiment, and this is a way that scientists can share their results and ideas. When a report is written, the goal is to demonstrate how an experiment was accomplished and what exactly was found out through completing it. In the report, what was learned from the experiment should also be included, as well as what could have been done to improve the experiment, along with ideas for future experiments. There are sections that all scientific reports must include, and they are as follows. So at the beginning you should have your aim, then a hypothesis, an apparatus, list or diagram, a step-by-step method, the results, your conclusion, and then your evaluation. Now it's really important to remember the order that the sections in the report should be written in. They should always go in this order. And one way that you can remember long lists is by using something called a mnemonic. And you might have come across mnemonics before. So one of the ways that you might have come across them is for remembering your colours within the rainbow. So some of you might use Roy G. Biv, which is used to remember your red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo and violet. I personally use Richard of York gave battle in vain. Or some of you might use my very easy method, just sums up or speeds up naming planets, which is a way of remembering the order of planets within the solar system. So Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune and Pluto. Okay, and what I've done here is I've put together a mnemonic that you could possibly use for remembering the sections within a scientific report. So A, hippo and monkey ran crazily everywhere. And again, what I think would be quite a nice thing for you to do is to just pause this video and try and come up with a mnemonic of your own. And remember, it has to be a sentence that you can easily remember to help you remember the different sections within a scientific report. Now we know what each of the sections are called, we need to know what they actually include. So we're going to start from the very beginning and look at the aim. And the aim is basically a question where we're writing down what it is that we hope to find out in an experiment. Often in an investigation we're changing one factor, and that factor is what's known as the independent variable. And then we're measuring the independent variable's effect on another factor that we measure. And the factor that we measure is known as the dependent variable. It's really important in your aim that you mention both the factor that you're altering, your independent variable, and what you're measuring, which is your dependent variable. So a suitable aim for an experiment would be to investigate the effect of increasing the temperature on the speed of a reaction. So in that example there, we're changing the temperature, so that's our independent variable, and we're looking at this effect on the speed of the reaction. So we're going to measure the speed of the reaction, and that is our dependent variable. If the student had simply written to investigate the speed of reactions, then that really wouldn't be suitable because they've not mentioned exactly what they're changing. And therefore it's not clear what they're trying to find out about speed, so we don't know what their independent variable is at all. Now, just a quick word of warning. Be careful how you use affect and affect. Affect is usually a noun and affect is a verb. So for example, the effect of salt on the boiling point of water, or how does salt affect the boiling point of water? So make sure that you've got those words correct in your aim. Now your first task, again, I'll read through this and then you're going to pause, is I want you to consider the following 4 aims. They're all completely unsuitable, and for each one I want you to say why it's deemed unsuitable and then rewrite it to make it suitable for a science report. Now for some examples you might find it really difficult trying to come up with a suitable example, in which case I just want you to make sure that you're putting down why you think it's incorrect. So your first example there is an aim where they're trying to find out if changing the size of parachute affects the time it takes for the parachute to reach the ground. Number 2, to find out if increasing the number of batteries has an effect. Number 3, to investigate Bunsen burners. And number 4, to determine if voltage will change across a bulb. Okay, so first task is really to write down in your description what you think is wrong. And then secondly, if you want to push it a little bit further, I want you to word those to make them correct. Okay, good luck.